Employee engagement. How to maintain teamwork and engagement. What we have found to work for teams. Engaging employees takes work and commitment. Good employee engagement starts the moment that the employee walks through the door on day one of their job. Ensure the employee has clear roles and responsibilities. Disengaged employee. Some signs of obvious disengagement are absenteeism, low energy, bad attitude, frequent use of social media, lack of enthusiasm. Teams may have trouble keeping their employees engaged. For example, team members go silent, they become rude, they feel undervalued, they are not doing the tasks they are assigned to do. So let's talk about how they go silent. When an employee is silent, it may be because they no longer feel the need to speak up in meetings, but this can have an impact on the whole team. The energy of the meetings changes, and people start to feel uncomfortable when in team meetings. Employees are not participating in the planning and execution of the project. It may be because they have not weighed in on the project. If employees have a chance to weigh in on ideas and concepts from the start, they will buy in as the project goes along. If they are not engaged, they may no longer care about if the project fails or succeeds. So, silence is not a good thing in your team meetings. How can you get employees or team members to speak up at meetings and briefings? Some suggestions that teams have found effective to engage silent employees are: when an employee goes silent in meetings, leaders need to set aside a few minutes for them personally to find out where they're at. Listen carefully to what they are telling you. Provide breaks from routine in the office, giving them more one-on-one time with each team member. Sometimes people are uncomfortable in larger groups. They will not reach out or speak up in larger groups, but will speak in smaller groups of 1 or 2 people. You may want to share any questions that you want the team to think about ahead of a meeting. If you're asking people for insight, it's only fair to give them as much time as possible to think about the problem at hand. The goal is to make the opportunity comfortable, not compulsory. Give credit for suggestions. Having a list of action points from a meeting is a good way to get things down on paper. Give acknowledgement to the originator of a new suggestion or proposal for improving a certain procedure. Ask each member to contribute. Leaders can make it easier by using eye contact effectively. Nodding in the person's direction can encourage the shyest of people. Empathizing and making comments which show that the leader has actually listened and rewording what was said are all good ways of encouraging people to speak up. Take a break from routine meetings. Example, think of an activity for all to participate in, like a field trip, such as picking herbs and plants. Use that as a planning tool of relaxation for ideas to flow or a new way of brainstorming being done. Another couple of ideas to break from routine. Have a journal, write out your notes from your meeting, then compare when back in the office. Even holding a meeting outside in the sunlight makes a difference in the moods of a team. A member may become rude. Below are challenges you might face on your team with a rude team member. An employee team member has nothing but negative vibes or no positive remarks in the team meetings. A team member doesn't complete the tasks assigned to them, and they blame others. A team member doesn't take responsibility for their actions and gets mad at the leader and or blames other members on the team. They are not responsible or accountable for their results. Positive conflict is productive. It produces new ideas, solves problems, and fosters creativity. When other ideas are explored, it could create some great ideas and solutions. However, when great teams address conflict together, it may at first seem rude to some people. Great teams debate ideas to come up with the best ones. Be careful not to become rude when getting your point across in your meetings. Rudeness is a display of disrespect, a breaking of social norms or expectations, a breach of etiquette, or ignoring accepted behavior. It can also mean someone behaving thoughtlessly, aggressively, or deliberately offensively. Keep it professional and state your point. Keep your emotions intact. As a team member, you may find yourself reacting a little harsh. Take a minute to yourself. Give yourself a timeout before you embarrass yourself or say something that you can't take back. Excuse yourself from the meeting and go to another room or grab a coffee, have a snack. You may be hangry. Breathe and think about how you can go back to the meeting and discuss your ideas in a rational, kind, and considerate fashion. If you cannot do this, seek support from a peer immediately. Sometimes team members have issues in their life and just need a friend to talk to. Hurt people hurt others. You may want to go smudge or pray for help and guidance. Stopping the team meeting for a break may help bring the team together to trust each other more if people feel free to ask for a timeout. You may find yourself feeling overwhelmed and overworked and feel like biting someone's head off. This is a result of you saying yes when you should have said no to a request to do something else new in your job or take on a new task. You realize you should have checked your schedule first and thought about your own mental health and well-being before you said yes. Maybe you're biting off more than you can handle. Learn to say no or ask for help when you need it. Some employees can feel undervalued, so they tend to disconnect themselves from the team and not want to participate in the planning stages. Most of us have felt undervalued on a team at one point or another. It takes a team effort to value each other. Some suggestions you may want to try on your team to show each person they are valued are: get to know your team members better. What are their goals? What motivates them? What excites them about the work they are doing? What challenges do they face at work? Is it a lack of diversity, not feeling heard, fear of public speaking? Or at home, is it parenting, caretaking, or health issues? When you take the time to get to know the people on your team, you can personalize your approach, and in doing so, show your team members that you value them, both as a group and as individuals. Stand with your team. Do what you say you will do. Don't say one thing in private to a team member, like, "I love the job you do," and then in public say something else. Like in a team meeting, you point out what they do wrong or point out all their flaws, but never praise them in team meetings. Give recognition as often as possible to each person on your team. When your team feels appreciated, it shows in the work everyone does. They may not be doing the tasks they are assigned to do because they are disengaged. A disengaged employee may be spending time on social media or talking to family and friends on the phone when they're supposed to be working. They are spending their time gossiping about others in the coffee room. They spend more time in the smoke area than at their desk. They may be taking a lot of time off for sickness because they are unhappy and not engaged. If your team members are not completing their tasks and are disengaged, it may be because they don't have the skills they need to do the job. They may be having trouble at home and need external support. They may need more guidance on what to do and how to do it. They may be afraid to admit they are not able to do what is asked from them. As a team leader or even a member of the team, be honest with your team when assigned a task to do. If you cannot do it, then say you can't and explain why. Ask for help. Remember, it's a team effort. Work with your team to get things done. If you find someone struggling, help them. Ask for training in the area you may need to develop your skills in. Set clear boundaries for all team members to follow as far as taking time to go on social media, smoking, or even just talking to other employees. Engaged employees will develop powerful ideas and complete amazing projects together. Remember to include everyone in the conversation. Stay positive in team meetings. To value your team members and complete your tasks as assigned. If you can't, then ask your team for help. So wrapping it up, Here are some of the benefits you can expect to see as a result of investing in employee engagement. Employees have more positive workplace attitudes, more effective communication and collaboration between employees and teams, lower absenteeism, greater commitment to quality and workplace safety, lower employee turnover, increased creativity and innovation, increased productivity, better customer service. Thank you for listening.